So like my biggest takeaway from Sister Outsider is like this. The homie Desi let me borrow her copy of Sister Outsider because I got it on ebook. And at first when I just put out the general blast on social media, like, does anybody have a copy of Sister Outsider? I would love to take a picture with it because I like to take pictures with real books, not ebooks. And Desi was like, I mean, I totally have a copy, but you totally can't use it because it's totally sitting on my altar. And I was like, okay. But then she changed her mind and she let me use it. And like upon completion of the book, I completely fucking get why this book would be sitting on an altar, because I don't know like the criteria that a book has to meet in order to be dubbed holy text, but Sister Outsider is for sure covering all of those categories because sacred as fuck. Okay,
read a book, you illiterate son of a bitch. Step up your vocab.
like, can we please have a moment of silence for the transformation of silence into language and action? In becoming forcibly and essentially aware of my mortality and of what I wished and wanted for my life, however short it might be, priorities and omissions became strongly etched in a merciless light, and what I most regretted were my silences. Of what had I ever been afraid? That sits with me so hard, y'all, because I be going back and forth to death about, do I pop off or do I leave it? Like, I think about that at least 5 times a day. I'm a black woman. Someone is always doing something problematic because people barely are even aware or like to acknowledge that we exist, but then in the same breath like to take all of our shit and pass it off as theirs. That's exhausting. So I just felt this on such an ethereal level. I don't know if it's gonna make me speak up more because, I mean, the emotional energy and labor of calling people out on their shit who are not aware of the space that they take up or the privileges that they have is extremely exhausting and daunting. But either way, this just proved further that all of the ways that I feel about all of the shit that's happening is not an isolated feeling. And then take it a step further, this ain't even like specifically some black girl lit canon shit. Like, this is some universal canon shit. Like, everyone should read this. American literature syllabi should have Sister Outsider on their list along with fucking, I don't know, Hatchet and Grapes of Wrath. I don't know what the fuck they be reading now. And they probably don't, and that is irritating. Because what the fuck? What are the words you don't have yet? What do you need to say? What are the tyrannies you swallow day by day and attempt to make your own until you will sicken and die from them, still in silence? If that is not scripture, I don't know what scripture is. I don't, you guys. I don't know where this British accent came from. I'm turned. Please don't give me hype. I'm hype. Perhaps for some of you here today, I am the face of one of your fears. Because I am woman, because I am black, because I am lesbian, because I am myself, a black woman warrior poet doing my work, coming to ask you, are you doing yours? Like, I'm sorry, did I just read something out of Audre Lorde's Sister Outsider anthology, or did I just read a psalm? You know? Which one is it? It's only 4 pages. This essay is only 4 pages. Like, you could literally read this in the morning. This is literally one of them long ass psalms. Remember them? I don't, it's been a minute, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, this collection, more than anything, period, point blank, just made me be okay with all of me. With the me that I'm proud of, that show up with big dick energy and take up the space that Cree knows she deserve, and tell the truth and apologize when I do too much, but always do too much instead of being afraid to do too much. And also makes me okay with the part of me that overthinks the things that I feel like I should be doing, or is afraid to show up and take up my space because of how people might perceive it. Mostly the people who are insecure and afraid to step into their own truths. Bloop. And that journey that I'm on, that we're all on at different levels, obviously, she has just like boiled down into this beautiful collection and just made it okay that we are all in these different parts. And it's because she's so fucking unbothered that she's gone through all of the steps, so she just got the tools to hand it to us. Like, this is what this is gonna look like, this is what you can work through, this is what will make sense in your journey. I just feel renewed. And you know what's super bogus, like, I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but my silence will not protect me, is that, you know, I fuck with Timo hard, and her and Toni Morrison got the same birthday, so I always used to joke like, how unfortunate is it that you're a great writer, but then you still have to share your birthday with this greater writer? No. There's plenty of room for everyone at the table, especially two black women who show up with big dick energy, which that term, we gotta figure out another word for the dick, because that's just, why we gotta bring that up? Which brings me to one of the final essays in the book about eye to eye, black women, hatred, and anger. I got dragged for filth in the essay a few times, and it also spoke to some of the things that I feel when I'm in a space with a whole bunch of black women. It's like, can equal parts be the safest space in the world and the unsafest space in the world as a black woman? And it's complicated, and we don't need to talk about it with anybody except each other, so that's why we don't. But it was just so refreshing to be seen so fully. Man, oh man, this is one of the greatest books that have ever been written. And can we talk for a minute about this full body yes, sis? So, you know, a few years ago, before it was trendy to be feminist and you were just a real nigga if you identified as a feminist, I think there was a lot of stuff going on around social media about enthusiastic consent when it came to sex. Or maybe everybody didn't see that and it was just people who were obsessed with deconstructing their relationship with sex due to the religious trauma that was placed on them as children. I don't know anybody like that. For sure, definitely not me. She's just talking about that type of consent when it comes to engaging in a sexual act and moving that type of consent to every part of your life. Everything that you do being a full body yes. Just checking in, like, do I really want to do this? Is this a full body yes? That's been a game dog. I think I say it like 8 times a day. And it's not like that black and white, right? So like my 10-year-old sitting talking to me about something and I don't want to listen anymore. So that's not a full body yes. But my 10-year-old being able to come to me and me being a safe space for him to talk to me is a full body yes. So I engage with him because I always want to be a safe space for him. That is what I'm saying. So it's not like this, I don't want to do it. Like, it's not some like immature bullshit, like self-servient stuff. It's like, what is really good for your heart and soul and existence and your essence. I am so like, I'm shook. I went from Kendra to this and I am so, how many times do I say this in a month for review's sake? I am so fucking grateful for literature. Geniuses never die. Audrey gave us her shit and now we have it forever. Yeah. Thanks for watching, you guys. I will be here on Friday. I have an announcement that I'm very excited to share with you. And don't stop reading, ever. You got it?